Hello, good afternoon. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I'm going to take this opportunity to do a quick walkthrough of the boat. Some have asked for us to do that, so we did add some things recently to the boat that I wish we had added a long time ago, and I'll show you what that is.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations. Cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
So here I am in the aft deck of the boat. It's really spacious. We have a wonderful grill, magma grill, that we really enjoy. We weren't sure where to put it when we originally got it for the boat, so my husband decided to put it there, and that's been a really good spot for it. We do have a Suzuki 200 on the back, which is phenomenal. This boat doesn't require a 200. It's not rated for that, but it really does get up and go when we need it to, and we absolutely don't worry about the waters or seas we're going through. It really is a very powerful, reliable motor. So next you'll see we have a raw water washdown in the transom. That's amazing. We use that often to wash dishes. We have a Bimini. It's not up right now, but here it is. And it's wonderful. When the Bimini is up or in position, it's like a whole nother room back here, and we just love it. The Bimini is absolutely necessary to enjoy the back of the Sea Dory and have sundowners or even enjoy coffee in the morning. So we'll start with the entryway. We have, the boat comes with a carpet or rug. A lot of times, depending on the type of trip we're taking, we'll take that rug out. We'll roll it up, put it in the house. It's super easy to do. It's just it's a lot easier to keep it clean. And if I think we're going to be in and out of the boat and in and out of the water, I don't want the rug to get wet. And we've had it for 3 years, and because we've kind of pick and choose when we want to leave it in here, it's remained in really good shape. But we also found these little teak squares just on Amazon. That's a big step when you go from outside to inside sometimes, but having that little area of teak steps, I think it adds to the look of the boat, kind of giving it a little more of a warm look. It really it's only a couple inches, but it makes a difference when you step down. So as we're stepping into the boat, I'm going to go ahead and show you what we had added just recently in this pantry. So we have this pantry as you step into the left or the port side. The top of it is just a shelf, which we use a lot for storage of food like fruits and vegetables and other things. We have baskets and things that we put on top of there. But this pantry, as I open it, you'll see we did get one of these little garbage holders. There are specific bags that are made for this garbage holder, and it works beautifully. Now we'll look at the inside. Now initially, many of you who have Sea Dories know that this cabin, if you have a Venture or if you've ever seen them, is empty except for a bar that goes all the way across. Now we have cut that bar to fit this space, but initially it went all the way across to the other side over here, and all we could do was hang things on it. But then the bottom was kind of this irregular angled bottom, and it was difficult to put things down on the bottom because it's slanted and it wasn't flat. And as you can see, the back, because of the way Sea Dory's made, obviously it's slanted. You may not be able to tell here, but it's angled along the back as well. So it was tricky on storage. I felt like, both my husband and I felt like there was a lot of wasted space. So he took our boat to a local boat builder here in Gainesville, Florida, and asked them, we need some cabinetry or something, shelves in here that will help us utilize the space better. So they cut that bar a little bit, which is fine because we can still hang our life jackets and even some other things. Plenty of room for that. They put these, as I've already kind of showed you, these false floors. And then that way we can store things under here. There's plenty of space to store different items. But then we have a flat surface, which I know sounds simple, but it makes a huge difference. And then what's even better is we have these amazing shelves. And these shelves actually, as you can see here, have a lip. So whatever we put in there, it never goes anywhere. And we actually have 3 of them. When we've provisioned, now that we have these shelves and these other options, we have even more room. Like our provision that we normally do, we have tons of room to even do more. So our week-long trips that we always have to plan to provision in the middle of the week, yeah, we don't have to do that anymore, as long as things don't go bad, obviously. But we can store in here at least twice as much as we could store before, where we have the Wallace stove and the sink. We have cabinets under. So under here was also tricky because we have a lot of our equipment that we use. You can't see it, I need to move. We have necessary equipment back here. And so we had to be careful when we put I tried to use crates back here. We had to be really careful. And a lot of times they slid around. Pots and pans I'd put under here would slide around. When we came to the boat builder, we asked him to make this. And so we have a false floor here, which has our lines from the shower. I know it seems simple and basic, but it's amazing. I wish, again, like I mentioned before, I wish we had done this a couple years ago when we got the boat. But you know, you don't know until you use it for a while and you figure out. We had talked about it over and over again, and we finally were like, we just need to have something made. And we tried a couple other things on our own, but it didn't work. And so we took it to a professional. They took care of it, and it's perfect. Okay, so I showed you already the Wallace stove heater, which we use all the time. We have found a couple pans that we've measured and made sure would fit, and it fits really well. Now that we're getting in cooler weather, you know, we've used it all through winter because that stove works really well. I like the sink. So what we did do to the sink a little differently was this faucet came out a little lower at one point, and it was just, you couldn't hardly maneuver things in and out of the sink. So my husband just slightly bent this up. He didn't get a new head, but he actually was able, he's got a tool or device that bends it to make it, it was too far down. And that actually has made a huge difference. Okay, next. So when you get a Sidori, it comes with the 26 Venture. It comes with this nice deep shelf back here, and we're able to put all kinds of stuff. Dish soap, spices, sugar, all kinds of things back there is really nice. But we really needed more space. And my biggest concern with storing silverware and things was my knives. We do carry some sharp knives on the boat to fillet fish or whatever. So you can't see it right now because I don't have a knife on it, but this piece of wood, again, I got off Amazon. I love Amazon. And it's one of those pieces that is magnetic, and you just put your knife or your spatula or whatever you have that you need, and it just magnetically attaches to it. And not even in the worst of waves will it fall. The knives and the spatulas, they stay on that. It's pretty impressive. Okay. So on the port side, so the stove and the sink and all that I showed you is on the starboard side. This is the port side of the boat. And I have a refrigerator that is amazing. And this just came with the boat. We didn't buy this. There's 2 shelves. There's 2 shelves in here, and then there's a really nice size freezer back there. And again, we've provisioned what we needed to be refrigerated for a week, and this will hold it. Now, we do keep drinks in a cooler on the aft deck, and it's kept things cold. Matter of fact, if you put it in the very back, some things will freeze. So I had to be careful with my lettuce and other things that I didn't want to freeze. I had to be careful where you put them because it does. And we're in Florida, and we take it to South Florida, so it gets cold, it stays cold, and there's plenty of room in the refrigerator. It's the Norcold, the little polar bear, Norcold refrigerator. Love it, love it. So next is the salon, and what we do is we drop the table down, and there's 2 cushions that are filler cushions that go on top, and it's very comfortable. We do have an egg crate topper that we have cut out for it. We have used it for that, especially if we have a guest other than Finn sleeping on the boat. These cushions are very nice, but they can be stiff sometimes, and I think the egg crate just adds a little extra level of comfort. And I do have to give props out to a good friend of mine who is a seamstress, and we have a couple of these pillows that she made for our boat, for the Beach Donkey, and they're amazing. One of the things I wanted, this is the breeze we get through the boat. This is wonderful. Just didn't plan that. But anyway, one of the things I wanted on a boat when we were looking were cup holders. And as you all know, Sea Dory Venture 26 has no cup holders. So that was almost a deal breaker for me, but my husband assured me I can put cup holders in the boat. Now on the aft deck, we have 4 that he's put on the gunnel, 2 on either side of the gunnels. They're cup holders and they're fishing rod holders. I didn't show you that, but they're back there and they look professional. He did a great job. But I have to say, he did put one up here for me that has been wonderful. So we do have a cup holder with the co-captain seat area, and I don't know how you can actually be in a boat without cup holders. And this is where the breeze was coming from that just came through. This is why we don't need air conditioning in this boat. We never have. The breeze is phenomenal. It's just wonderful. And you've got these big opening windows. We do have screens, and we changed out the screens pretty much when we first got the boat to no-seam screens, the really, really tiny holes, because the first night we got the boat, we spent the night at Crystal River at Anchor and watched the no-seams crawl individually one by one through the little holes in the screen, and it was horrible. So these screens are tiny, tiny holes. Okay, so moving on to the next addition or customization that we did to our boat. My dear friend, who is an amazing seamstress that made the pillow I showed you, which we have 2 of, we also gave her a template to make this, but my husband needed a place to put his stuff. He drew her a template and told her we wanted it to fit perfectly in this space, and even the dimensions for each pocket. We have the remote control for our spotlight on the front, which was also something we added last year. It's a large investment. We recommend it. So this was the, remote control for that, and obviously it has its own little place. We also put a couple of these teak squares. Kevin cut them to fit in this spot, which has helped because I'm kind of short, and when I'm driving, it's nice to have even a couple inches of help, but also just aesthetically, I think it's really nice to have that there. But anyway. So this is the berth, the queen berth in the bow. We didn't do a lot in there. I'm going to open the curtain, and we usually keep this curtain open, especially if we're at Anchor or a marina. So what we did do, and those are the cushions for the salon berth. We usually just keep them in there, but we added this crate top. We cut it down to fit. Huge difference for us, and we've had this on here probably close to a year that we've kept this on. We just keep it in here. We don't take it off the boat. One thing we did add to the boat in here for storage of our clothes are these mesh hammocks, which are wonderful. And guess where I got them from? I know you're going to be shocked. I got them from Amazon. But they're amazing. We love these. I can fit a week's worth of clothing in that little mesh thing, and it doesn't bother me when I'm sleeping. I don't feel it. And if I do, it's not much. I mean, it's barely anything. I really don't. My husband, of course, hardly packs anything, so he never even fills his. So sometimes between my son and I, if we need a little extra space, we use some of his too. But for 3 people, this is plenty of storage for clothing. So I highly recommend these. We love these fans. They don't draw a lot of power. If they did, my husband wouldn't have them in here. We have one there, and then we have one here in the salon. This boat's extremely comfortable weather-wise. It doesn't matter if it's 90 degrees outside. It will be cooler in this boat, especially when you've got windows open, hatches open, the doors open, and then if you want to put the fan on, you can. But honestly, during the day, like I said, unless we're cooking, we just don't do it. So one last thing I wanted to show y'all, well, I'll show you the head in just a minute. We did do that. I almost forgot about that. That was a big one. Is we have this hanging egg, and we got it at Bed Bath & Beyond, and we put like essential oils in there for bugs, mosquitoes, and things like that to repel them. We both really like the scent anyway, but it works really well. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the head. Now, we have a very small head. It's just the toilet, and we have a stand-up shower in the same room. And initially, we don't have a sink. That's my only issue in there, is I wish we had just even a little corner sink. So our head, we changed out the stock toilet that we got with the boat with a composting toilet. And part of the reason we did that was after being on the boat for a few days, even if we went 3 miles off and we flushed the system, we would even take the raw water, wash and flush it out, it would still smell. And it got to be the longer we had the boat, the more I felt like we could just smell it. I don't like to smell anything like that. No one does, but I'm funny about smells. We changed your composting toilet, and it has been wonderful. No smell in the cabin. We can still go 3 miles out and dump the contents of pot that we use out there. Usually we come home and just can dig a hole and bury it. We use composting toilet paper. Let me just show you what it looks like. So here's our head. We did add as well, which again has made a huge difference, those teak squares that we got off Amazon. My husband cut them to fit around the toilet, and we put those in there, which has been really nice when we take showers. And I do like to take showers in this head. It's very comfortable. We have solar panels on the roof, so on a nice sunny day, we have plenty of power to get some hot water out of our hot water heater. I don't like taking a shower with dirty shower water at my feet the whole time, and I think it's just kind of disgusting. So Kevin put these teak flooring down, and I can pull them right up, and I do when we get back. We pull them up, I pull them out of there, I clean the floor itself really good. I make sure underneath there is where the water goes out after you take a shower, and you push the button and it goes out. You can barely see it. It's just a tiny part of the hole at the top. But I make sure I clean all that out so there's no sitting water. And that Tupperware bucket has peat moss in it, in case you're wondering what that is. Speaking of peat moss, our composting toilet. There it is. It is a thing of beauty. We love it. It's wonderful. So we bring that little Tupperware thing of peat moss every time we go number 2. We sprinkle a little peat moss in there on top of it. The idea is, if any of you don't know, is that you go number 1 right there, and you go number 2 in there. Now I don't have the bucket in there now because we took it out and cleaned it. It's a black bucket that goes up underneath this that fills this whole thing. Fill it with peat moss before we get on the boat, before our trip. And then, like I said, as we are using the toilet, we put a little bit more in there. And then we also have vinegar and water solution in a spray bottle that we will spray where we go number 1, because that helps actually get that urine down and neutralize that so it doesn't stain the area and so it doesn't collect there or have any kind of scent. And basically what we have come to understand when we were doing our research is the smell that you smell is when urine combines with feces. So when it does that, it creates a smell. If you can keep them separated, then there's little to no smell. You can have some, but not really much. We do have a fan in here that actually pulls some of the odor out, and you can kind of see the vent back there at the bottom that goes out the boat. So the urine has a hole it goes out of. And the other thing, just to kind of show you, is where the shower is. And we actually did get a new one of these. My husband changed this out. I can't remember what the other one looked like now, but basically he did it because before you would have to control the water flow, hot and cold, whatever, with the knobs at the bottom. And he got this so that we can turn it on, get it to the temperature we want and the flow we want. And then this turns the shower on or off. So we can flip this, you see, like that, to turn it on or off, so we're not wasting water. And we don't have to readjust the water, like spend time readjusting the water temperature every time we turn it back on. that was brilliant. And we did that about, I don't even know, a year and a half ago maybe. That has also been a really nice customization that we did of our boat. May not be for you. You may not need to worry about it. You may not use your head or your shower in your boat, but we do. One thing I do have to mention is when you're using the shower with a composting toilet, there is a electrical component of some sort, the motor, whatever, behind the toilet that cannot get wet. So we take a large lawn bag, one of those lawn garbage bags, the black ones, with us on our trip. And we just store it underneath one of those false floors in the cabinet, which I told you has been so wonderful. But we put that over this whole area, over the toilet. We don't want the peat moss getting wet. We don't want any part of this getting wet. So we just cover the whole thing and then shower. And then when we're done, we take it off and sit it outside and let it dry. And it has worked really well. There's a light at the top. And the only problem is it's kind of bright. Even on a low setting, it's really bright. So yeah, I hardly ever turn it on. We do also have covers for the windows. So when we're showering and there's other people around us, there's actually quite a large window there. And then even in the cabin, there's a window. So for privacy, we have covers that are usually in here hanging down, and we just snap them up when we're showering. So the last thing that we did, and this was a gift from my husband's brother. And it was funny because we had been talking about it on our boat, but we hadn't done anything about it. And it wasn't a big deal. It was just something that was kind of cosmetic, but I'd seen it on other boats, and I thought at night it would be really nice. These lights that they have in here on the ceiling get really bright, and they're hot. They actually generate heat. We talked about getting little twinkle lights to go, like, you know, around the top of the ceiling here, just to kind of have at night, you know. So my brother-in-law did that, and I can't really show you what they look like. Let me see if I can turn them on and maybe you can get an idea. You barely can see them. I turned them on, and at night it actually does light the cabin, and it's just soft. It's a soft light to where you can see everything. Again, not a big deal, but it has made it. You know, part of the reason we like to be on the boat is to enjoy the comfort of the boat. And that's why we got the Sea Dory, because it is very comfortable. Yeah, so we got the Sea Dory. It's easy to trailer, it's easy to clean, it's easy to maintain. It gets fantastic gas mileage, better than any other boat like this that we've seen, partly because it's not real heavy. Adding things like the little twinkle lights, like the little teak on the floor, they're just aesthetic things, but they do make a difference in our comfort level and how we are. It's not our home. We have a wonderful, lovely home that is our home, but this is like our home away from home. And when we're here, we want to feel comfortable. Yeah, there's some things we've done for functionality and practicality, but there's also things we've done just to help make us feel comfortable while we're on the boat. All of us, me, my husband, and my son. So I hope you enjoyed this tour. I didn't do a tour of the outside because that's my husband's arena. He could tell you more about that, you know, solar panels or anything else that you want to know. If you want to message us, feel free to ask any questions you want, and we'll make sure we answer them for you as soon as possible. So anyway, that's our walkthrough, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for, I've had so many people like and even subscribe to the channel, and I didn't originally do it for that purpose. I wanted to be able to share these videos with my family and friends, and as you all know, emailing or you can't text anything that large, and it's really almost impossible to email them. So this was the only literally channel or mode that I could share everything with them. So I appreciate, though. I was not initially going to make anything public. I just wanted it private, and it was just easier to make it public than you have to worry about other issues. So I did that, but I really do. Kevin and Finn and I are really excited that we have the people we have expressing their appreciation for the videos, even though they're really awful. They're getting a little better, hopefully. I'm learning about how to do editing and stuff. This is not my job. I don't know how to do it, so I'm just doing the best I can just to kind of get the videos up. But as far as even the videos, I'm trying to make sure that, you know, they're more real, and it's really what we do or say when we're here. And we do have some new things that are going to be coming up in the next couple months. We do have a trip planned down to the Marco Island, Naples area, the one we had to reschedule, where we went to Steinhatchee because of Elsa hurricane. So that's been rescheduled. Anyway, thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy it. This weather in Florida is beautiful right now, so I don't know where you are. whether it's beautiful or not beautiful, enjoy your day.